Hey. Good morning, everybody out there in YouTube land. Man, it is a beautiful day out here driving a big truck down the road. Ooh, mercy. You know, I'm going to talk about a little bit of thing here. Mainly about opportunity. You want to make 65 cents a mile? Plus, I'm going to tell you how to do that. But first of all, I want to tell you about my little interaction first thing in the morning. You know, when you're out here driving, experience life, man. I was thinking, man, I'd like to have a t-shirt. I better turn that radio down. Everybody's going ballistic here in Indianapolis this morning. We were like bumper to bumper and moving 5 mile, 10 mile an hour. But talk to you about a little interaction I had this morning. You know, I was even thinking about getting a t-shirt, having a t-shirt made up that says run hard, live right, move free. That's what we do. We bring the good life to all the people of this nation. As a truck driver, you have a purpose. Move free. And it really connects a lot because, you know, you see a little kid eating some Kraft macaroni and cheese. You can look at that and go, I hauled that. I carried that. Little kid eats a Happy Meal at McDonald's. That box that his Happy Meal come in, I hauled that. Everything that these people have in their life, we haul that. Now I know there's a lot of people that don't make that connection in life, and you don't need to go through life everybody praising you, telling you how great you are. Know in your own heart who you are and what you do. I love that video of Tex Crowley. If you've never seen it, you got to go see it. It's called Just a Trucker. And if it doesn't make you swell up with pride, I don't know what will. Tex Crowley, C-R-O-W-E-L-Y, I think that's the way it spells his last name. Tex Crowley, Just a Trucker. Tex is an absolute artist. I try to look at everything he ever produces. He is an artist in the trucking industry. But as you go through this world, you cannot let the world overly affect you. You can be the light of this world. And let me tell you what I mean by that. You'll notice a lot of people when they're going through, let's take for instance, you know, you go the Pilot or the Flying J. You got inside, you're going to get a little something to drink or a little this or that. When you step up to the counter, you watch people. They don't talk to each other. They put their stuff up there, the guy brings it up, the little gal tells him how much it's going to be, puts his money up there, and says thank you, and that's it, and they leave. No interaction. To me, that's death. That's dead, all right? I just come out of the Pilot, and I'll tell you the interaction I had. And maybe that's the reason why I feel like I'm walking through such a blessed life. I feel absolutely blessed in everything I do. I mean, it's a joy. I don't have a worry in the world. You know, try to be the light. Well, there's somebody having a much worse day than me and you. But I'll tell you what I mean by that. And whenever you make jokes, to make sure that you don't offend anybody, make yourself the blunt of the joke. There's a hint right there to make people smile and laugh. So when I step up to the counter, I put my drink up there, and the lady goes, before I put the drink up there, she goes, "Can I help you?" And I step up there and I put my drink up there. I said, "Sister, I don't know if there's enough help in this world for me." And she goes, and she kind of looked up at me and she goes, "You know, the good Lord helps those that help themselves." And I said, "Yes, ma'am, but he's especially kind." He's especially kind to the, what? How did I say that? Oh my God. God takes special care of the idiots and fools. And she goes, she looked at me and she smiled. She goes, "Well, you ain't got nothing to worry about, do you?" I said, "No, sister, I could trip and fall and never hit the ground." That's why we're interacting with each other. We're smiling, we're laughing. We're giving each other a nice day. And it doesn't take much. A simple "good morning, how you doing?" Just a little personal interaction. Make notice of people. And you know what? You want to feel good? Put a smile on somebody else's face. Okay. I'm done preaching for this morning. What I wanted to shoot this video about was opportunity. You know, I said at the very first of the video how you too can make 65 cents a mile. I'm going to tell you right now, I make more than 65 cents a mile. You have cents per mile, you have your detention pay, you have your layover pay, you have stop pay. You got all these different things they pay you for, plus your mileage. So yes, I make more than 65 cents a mile. There is not a single company that'll pay me more than where I'm at right now. I'm in the best seat I could possibly be in. But let me tell you about those top seats. Those top seats belong to top drivers. And if you want to be in that seat, you got to bring your A game. You got to come to the table and show value of who you are and what kind of driver you are. And this brings us to opportunity. Opportunity looks a lot like work. Here at Magnum, we're going to give you the opportunity. It's up to you to do the work. And I deal with this all the time. You know, people want to be a truck driver, but they don't want to do the job that comes with being a truck driver. You got to do all the other things. You got a lot of things going on here. I'm driving through rush hour traffic right now, shooting a video and talking to you, and at the same time, I'm calculating all kinds of things. What that vehicle right there is getting ready to do. Is that truck going to stay in his lane? Do I have enough distance between me and that car that's in front of me? Am I coming up to where I have to change lanes to make an exit? What is my next exit? I'm doing all these things and shooting a video and talking at the same time. Now you may say, well, that video is a distraction. You need to get rid of that. I'm not looking at that. see, I'm driving in my mirrors. I'm paying attention to what's going on around me. I'm driving my truck. I'm on my A game. Now, if you can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time, I recommend you don't try that. Walk and chew bubble gum. You gotta admit, that's funny right there. But you can't tell me that you can't drive and talk at the same time. That's all I'm doing, is driving and talking. Opportunity looks a lot like work. You hear people talk about truck drivers, and you hear some people call them steering wheel holders. Well, you got both kinds. You got truck drivers, professional truck drivers, and you got steering wheel holders. You know, you got all kinds out here. A professional truck driver, a professional, he knows his equipment inside and out. He knows all the function of his equipment. He knows how to maintain his equipment at the highest standard. He is constantly inspecting, adjusting, and adhering to the needs of his equipment. He's doing his job at a level of proficiency that operates the vehicle in the most efficient way. That means using your jake brake instead of your foot brakes. That means accelerating like you got your foot on top of an eggshell. Choosing the shortest route. You'll hear at Magnum that they're not going to overly hold your hand. Our training is pretty intense for the first 30 days. We're going to start you out, we're going to teach you old school. No electronic devices. No cruise control. No radio. No GPS. None of that. You got to show me that you can drive the truck yourself without any electronic aids whatsoever. Now, once I see that you're comfortable driving the truck without any additional aids, then we'll start talking about giving you a little bit of the easier life. But you got to show me you can drive without it first. Now, I know when the first time when you get in a truck, you're not going to be comfortable with it. You're out of your element. You're in something that's totally new to you. I get that. I don't have a problem with you driving 5 miles under the speed limit. I don't have a problem with you starting off driving at your comfort level. But understand, my job as a trainer is to push you out of that comfort level and push you into the realm of a professional driver. You should be able to maintain the speed limit that's posted on this interstate. If it's 65 miles an hour, you should be able to drive 65 miles an hour. I understand that's not going to happen the first day. Also understand you're not going to be able to drive a full clock. You're in something that's highly stressful, and it's going to wear you out quickly. If you can drive 4 or 5 hours your first day, I'm good with that. We have to not only bring you up in your comfort level, but we also have to bring you up to the endurance level. Your endurance level grows with your comfort sitting behind the wheel. They go hand in hand. By the end of day 4, you should be running at the speed limit, sitting in the seat fairly casual and relaxed, going down the interstate. These are the signs I'm looking for. believe it or not, there's a lot of things that a trainer is going to look for. He's not going to mention, he's not going to talk about. He's looking at how hard you're gripping the wheel. He's looking to see if you got white knuckles on your grill because you're about to bend steel gripping onto that wheel. Also, you can watch their feet, what their feet are doing. When somebody is anxious and stressful, a lot of trainers will actually put a loose piece of carpet on the floor underneath the driver's position, because if that person's stressful, they'll be pushing down on their feet and they'll pull that carpet backwards, and you can watch that carpet when it starts to bend up the back. This driver is getting extremely stressed. There's all different things that we do to view that. It's going to be a progression, but you need to do all the things to do your job. You need to listen to your trainer. When your trainer asks you to do something, he ain't asking you to do something for him. Now, we will use phrases like, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. The fact is, I need you to do this so that I can give you a check mark and pass you on this part of the process of the training. Because really, when it comes right down to it, I don't need it at all. I'm giving you an opportunity to drive for one of the best companies in the country. I need you to step up to your A game and do the job. I'm going to ask you if you know how to read an atlas. Can you read a map? Yeah, I can read a map. I've used maps in my previous job before. I know how to get everywhere with a map. Okay, great. First day, now we're actually here on day 5. I'm going to ask you to do a pre-plan, a trip plan. Now, first day, I don't need you to tell me where you're going to stop, the fuel, where you're going to get fuel, where you're going to get rest, where you're going to get your brakes. The first trip plan I want you to do is just tell me the route. Write down the route. Like, for instance, we're going out of Minneapolis and we're going down to the Carolinas. I want you to just write out the route. Say, I'm going to take 94 down to where it turns into 90 going into Chicago. And then I'm going to take 290 south to 294. And I'm going to take 294 till it turns into 80. And I'm going to run 80 east over to Indiana to I-65. I'm going to run I-65 south to Indianapolis. And then I'm going to run I-70 east all the way to Dayton. Then I'm going to take 75 south out of Dayton down to highway. You get my picture? Let me tell you something. When your trainer asks you to do something like that, your trainer has been out here long enough, running the roads long enough. He don't need to look at an atlas. He don't need to look at a GPS. He can rattle those highways and those interstates off the top of his head because he's driven them countless times. He knows the entire route. No matter if it's going to Orlando or it's going to Seattle, Washington. He's done been there. If he hadn't been there already, you got to wonder if he should be a trainer. He should know every exit, every truck stop, every dead-gum rest area in this country. That's an experienced trainer. That's what he needs to bring to the table. So when he asks you to do that trip plan, he ain't asking you because he don't know. He's wanting to verify that you know how to do that. All you got to do is write it out. I'm taking 94 till it turns into 90. Then I'm going to take 290 south to 294. Just write it out, what highways that you're going to take. Show me that you know how to read a map and that you can choose the shortest route possible. We're going to do that for a couple days that way. Now we're on about day 7, day 8. I'm going to be asking you to step up your game. We're going to add a little bit more work to it. Now when you do your trip plan, you know we got to take a 30-minute break in the first 8 hours. You know we're going to need to get a fuel stop. You know where we're going to be able to drive 600 miles down the road, when we're going to take a 10-hour break, and where we're going to do it. Now I need you to add those elements into your trip plan. And here's the kicker. As soon as you demonstrate to me that you can do all that, now I'm going to show you how you can do your job without doing it. Yeah. So I need you to show me that you can do the job as a trucker in all aspects. I need to see that you can trip plan. I need to see that you can do your logbooks. I need to see that you can figure your hours. I need to see all these things that you can do this job old school without any electronic aids whatsoever. And as soon as you can do that, we can go on to the next phase, and your life is going to get a whole lot easier. But this is part. You want to work for a company that'll pay you 65 cents an hour? You bring your A game. You be the professional driver, and you do the job. If you're not willing to do the job, if you just want to cruise through life, all you want to do is drive a truck and hold steering wheel, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not the company for you. Because we're not going to hold your hand. We are not going to have to tell you everything you do to do your job. We expect you to be professional and do the job without supervision. If you're not willing to do that, don't come here. This company is going to leave you totally alone. They're going to give you a brand new truck. They're going to give you a credit card to buy your fuel. They're not going to route you. They're not going to tell you where and how much fuel you got to get. They're not even going to tell you the way you got to get there. We're going to send you an email that says you pick up your load from such and such shipper at such and such address at such and such time. We expect you to be there an hour before your appointment. As soon as you get loaded, you run every minute of your clock to your receiver. You're going to get an email that says where to pick up the freight. And on that email, it's going to tell you where to drop the freight. And that's the only interaction you're going to have from the company. They're not going to call and babysit you. They're not going to call and go, hey, where are you at? None of that. They're going to leave you alone. They're going to let you do your job. You're supposed to be the professional truck driver. Be a professional. Do the job. If you need supervision, you need somebody to hold your hand every step of the way. You need to be able to be told when to wipe your ass. This ain't the company for you. If you need that kind of supervision, go to one of those mega carriers that'll micromanage you. Live that kind of life. I don't want to live that way. I love the freedom that I have here at Magnum. They expect me to be the professional and do my job. I do. The only time I talk to the company is when I got a problem and I need something. Hey, Amanda, I need this or I need that. Other than that, the company don't ever talk to me. They just let me do my job. And knowing that, say like for instance, going home, we go home anytime we want to. All we ask is that you give us 10 days notice before you go home. Now, that being said, on a 10-day notice of going home, that means you can go home every 2 weeks. We would prefer a driver that stays out for 3 weeks at a time. But if you're willing to stay out 2 weeks at a time, we're still in with that. We understand that. So as long as you can be home every other weekend. Go home for the weekend, take the weekend off. As soon as you get back out, put in your 10-day notice when you want to take your leave. That'll put you home every other weekend. This company makes it priority number one once you put in your home time. Once you put in your home time on that home request, Now, we say 10 days advance. Now, that is to assure you when you're going to be home. Now, I just had a trainee quit and get off the truck. I thought that I was going to run this trainee for 30 days, get back to Fargo, pick up another trainee, and go right back out. So I was pretty sure I wasn't going to be able to go home for the next 6 weeks or so. Well, I had a trainee quit day before yesterday. Now I suddenly got 2 weeks solo. I got time I can go home if I want to. Well, my mom has got a birthday coming up the 20th of this month. I'd like to go visit my mom for her birthday. Just make her day, right? But I've already passed the 10-day window. I've only got 9 days. Anyway, I put it in anyway. I requested my home time. You know, basically a week and a couple days from when I need to be home. I didn't have to wait a long time to figure it out either. It was about an hour. And I got an email back from Stan saying, leave request as submitted, returning to Stillwater, Oklahoma on the 19th, taking the 21st and the 22nd off, reloading on a Monday, back on the road on the 23rd, en route to Fargo, North Dakota. Approved. No fuss, no worry. Now, every load that I have between now and then, when it comes up in front of my dispatcher, when the screen comes up in front of them, it's going to have a red flag on it, and it's going to say home time, and it's going to say my destination. And they've got to make sure wherever they move me in this country that they can get me home on that date of the 19th. It's priority one. Get me home when I want to be home. And it's amazing what they'll do to get you home. I've had, we'll do reloads. We'll do repowers. They'll look and see where I'm going to cross paths with another driver, and we'll swap trailers to put me in the right direction to get me home. This company's going to take care of their driver like none other. You wonder why all of us Magnum drivers talk about our company the way we do? I listened to a driver last night. Deb, shout out to Deb. God bless her little heart. Deb makes me laugh, one of my favorite people. And Deb is 4'11". I don't know if she weighs 100 pounds soaking wet. She's a little bitty thing. I always tell her, I said, you got to quit telling everybody you're 4'11". Tell them you're 5 foot nothing. But anyway, Deb, we were talking last night, and we were talking about how blessed we are to work for this company. And she goes, because she was one of the experienced drivers that was lured away from another company, offered more money and more this and more that, and then she got over there and found out that they couldn't provide all the things that they said they did, so she came right back here to Magnum. I think she was gone from the company for about 90 days, and she goes, you know, I'm so glad that I come back here. She goes, you know, it's one thing top pay, driving the prettiest trucks on the road, nice equipment, you know, it's all that. She goes, but what makes this company great is the people. The personal touch. She goes, you know, one night I was driving across the country, and I was running into a storm, and I could see the storm up ahead of me, and it was looking pretty nasty. She goes, all of a sudden telephone rings. She goes, it's in the middle of the night, and the phone rings. And it was the owner of the company. The owner of the company. Hey Deb, this is Matt. How you doing, dear? I'm doing okay. Well, I was looking here at the screen at the map, and looks like you're getting ready to come into a pretty bad storm. What can I do to help? You want to take a route around it? You want to drive through it? You want to buckle down and let her blow over? What do you want to do? You let me know what I can do to make life better for you right now. That was the owner of the company in the middle of the night looking out for a driver. Where are you going to find that? Our production manager, Chad. Oh, by the way, with Matt, the owner, open door policy. Anytime you want to talk to the owner, you just walk up and knock on the door and go, "Hey, Matt, you got a minute?" And it's not Mr. Gadberry, it's Matt. The production manager. He's the one that is in charge of all the driver managers, dispatchers, and everything. If one of the dispatchers needs a little bit of time off, Chad is going to roll up his sleeves, put on a headset, say, "Go ahead and take off. I'll take care of your board for you." And he's going to sit down and do the dispatcher's job. What other company can you tell me where people do that? We're a team. We work together. We're out to accomplish a mission, and it takes all of us, all the way from the driver, all the way up to the owner of the company. So if you want to come here and come to work, you bring your A game, and you be a professional driver, and you do all those things, and you bring that to the table, and you're going to have one of the most rewarding experiences and best careers you could ever have. I know I've been on a bit of a rant this morning, and this has gone way too long, so I'm just going to cut this video off here. A little hardcore about it, but sometimes the truth needs to hit you right between the eyes. That's the way I gave it today. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day. God bless each and every one of you. You know, remember, you too can change the world. All you got to do is be nice to each other. Bye-bye.